Feminine, it's our time. It's your time to feel empowered, naked, true in your vulnerable state, empowered state, brazen, courageous like segment energy, harnessing creativity and divine mother energy like the seven sisters. Coretta Scott King said, "Women, if the soul of the nation is to be saved, I believe that you must become its soul. When the heart is right, the mind and body will follow." Now, she ain't said it would be easy. It actually hurts like hell, but women are the key to the door between worlds. An African proverb once said, "A nation is not conquered until the hearts of its women are on the ground. Then it's finished. No matter how brave or how strong its warriors are, or they're powerful, their weapons." They understood that the heart is the generator of our energy, of our soul. The brain is a receiver, like a radio, like Nikola Tesla said. But our hearts are where we find our most power, and that's why our hearts are attacked. Excuse me. Happy New Year 2022. This message has been coming through me for a few days because I know the power of women, the power of femininity. It's not even necessarily women because, again, this is an energy. We're not talking about women only. We're talking about divine feminine energy that is possessed within both male and females. It is our creative, spiritual, our mothering, nurturing side. I mean, look at the cards that came out. That's why I said those words. It's time to get naked. Again, vulnerable, truly loving ourselves as we are, because understanding that we are enough, like Whitney Houston said, the greatest love of all is the love of self. Brazen, confident, strong in our own creativity, individuality, but unity. Let me get some more light, because again, that Seven Sisters card is a perfect example of the unity that we need to portray. Like Malcolm X said, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a woman, you educate a whole nation. Because they understood that the woman is the first teacher of both men and women alike. And as soon as we are respected as such, the divine feminine energy begins to get the respect that it is supposed to get. We'll start advancing. There we go, some light on the subject. The divisiveness between both feminine and men and just feminine our sisters is what holds us back, because unity, teamwork makes the dream work, is what I heard. But that it was always our power, the collective consciousness. Now I'm going to pull a few more cards. I got the Kemetic Tarot deck. I got the African American and the African Tarot deck. These cards are still new, the African Goddess Rising. So I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit from the actual book, because you can't take away from the creator's aspect. I mean, when I see this card, since now I have the light, the nakedness, she's the mermaid, she's the dual nature, she's in water, she's on earth, she has the snake intertwined around her body, the kundalini energy rising. I see the planets, I see interconnectedness. You know, they told us to visualize our opponent naked because we knew that that would take away, not necessarily disarming them, but making them appear less threatening to us, you know? Nakedness in some way is vulnerable because, as our Black Panthers used to say, I mean, if I'm naked, you know, I'm not concealing any weapons. I'm coming to you in my raw sense. Number 30 is the card. Mami Wata. And just so you can see for the visual. Mami Wata. Goddess of emotional nakedness. It's a water element. Mami Wata and her sisters live in the Ikpoba River in Benin City, Nigeria, but the ancient mermaid goddess is her own global pantheon. Mami Wata influences emotions and gifts her followers with clairvoyance and healing powers. Hide no more. The emotional nakedness you avoid is your superpower, not your shame. Ashe. Being emotional Being emotionally naked means being vulnerable enough for the real you to shine through. Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. So there you go. I love it, you know, again, when the author of the card and I share the same vision in the card, or at least that I got, I guess, in that perception, what they were saying. Because as soon as I see naked, I think vulnerable. And that's what they said too. It says, practice being transparent. Start with the people closest to you. Say, I haven't been showing the whole me, but I am starting today. Perfect time at the beginning of the new year, 2022. Even though the new year technically isn't until March in the beginning of Aries season, but you know, the calendars are going to change. Have the courage to feel and express your feelings without people pleasing. Speak your truth, share your story, cultivate an appreciation for vulnerability in others. Become comfortable with feeling uncomfortable and making others uncomfortable. Your affirmation with this is, I have the courage to be vulnerable. In a way, that's what I'm doing right now, because everybody knows that this is outside of my comfort zone. I'm a writer, not a speaker. But apparently, the voice is where our power is. We cannot be afraid anymore. 2022 is a 6th year. It's calling us out. What I'm hearing is, think about it. Number 6 in tarot is the Lover's card, which is Gemini. Gemini is where the north node of the moon has been since May of last year. Technically, the energy hit March of 2020 when the pandemic hit. So as Gemini started ruling the north node, and that energy was governing where the collective was headed. Perfect example. Gemini is the twins, mutability, duality, you know, ever changing. Geminis hate restrictions and, you know, structure. I mean, they just like the freedom to be the mercurial butterfly, you know, to fly free, the air signs. And they don't like, you know, particular regimens. They get bored quickly. You got to be able to be versatile. Think on your feet. They're the goddess, or, you know, that is the planet. Mercury is all about communication, information, technology, travel, you know, spontaneity. So that's literally what happened with the pandemic. I mean, you had to be quick on your feet. You had to be versatile. You had to learn how to make money, you know, from home or from somewhere else. You had to do Zoom meetings. You had to switch up your normal routine. And if you weren't flexible, then you got broke, because you know you got to be bendable. Most people say Geminis are fickle or two-faced. Now, what Gemini possesses is that duality, that gift to be able to be mutable, meaning I could argue one I love to debate. I debate myself. That's the gift of the twins. I mean, there's always a constant battle, debate, or expansion always happening within my brain. Most air signs think a lot, but the brain allows you the escape, the imagination, like Albert Einstein said. You know, they say imagination will take you everywhere. And that's basically where the north node of the moon has been. Now, right now, you can probably feel the energy shift that's going on because in January, mid-January, the node is going to shift from Gemini and the axis of Gemini and Sagittarius eclipse that we've been in to Taurus and Scorpio axis. And Taurus and Scorpio will rule. Taurus being the north node and Scorpio being the south node for the next year and a half. So that energy will dominate, leading us into, Taurus is the bull. Taurus is the second house, ruling all about your groundedness, your money, your discipline, your bull, your, I hate to say stubbornness, but the aggression or the blockages within our own. There's so much that you can learn from your birth chart. That was the first thing that happened when we were born. Our ancestors made sure they recorded where the stars were so that you would know your weaknesses and your strengths. So if you haven't gotten a full analysis of your birth chart, also your life path number, which I will be doing soon. I'm going to go ahead and make a video for each life path number because I do think that that's also just as important as your birth chart. So make sure if you're interested in learning more about you and not about past trauma and, your ex's story and, all about the normalcy that you see on YouTube sometimes. And it ain't about them. It's about you. Mind elevation, spiritual expansion, consciousness, uplifting the planetary vibration. There's a shift going on right now. And I'm telling you, you watching tarot or you into anything esoteric or mystical is one step, towards you being a light worker, a star seed, someone here to help humanity. Be brazen, be bold. Let's see what that number, because I did blend off, I'm sorry, from the cards. But number 17, which equals 8, build or destroy. Be brazen. It says, goddess of brazenness, warrior, element of fire. Goddess Citra is the energy and spirit of Buxton in Ghana, South America. Satira is brave, bold, brazen, and barefaced, casting a spell with her lips. Now, what I just heard is, in the beginning was the word, which you speak, you create, abracadabra. That's literally, if you look it up, it's a word that's what it means. I create what I speak. I manifest what I speak. If you're continuously watching videos about how you were hurt, how you were heartbroken, how you were traumatized, that keeps that energy cycling around you. Watch videos that build you up, that teach you something. Books. The more information you hold, the more light you hold. The more light you hold, the lighter you are. It says, Satira's guidance to you is to step up. Go for it. Partner with the divine to make brazen choices, and everything meant to diminish you will elevate you. Damn, didn't I just say that? Mind elevation. That's what I'm saying. Energy. All mean you harm will fall away. Your hurdles are illusions because you are plugged into the source. Make the brazen decision. What would you dare to do if you knew you couldn't fail? It is brazen to be unapologetically you. It is brazen to speak up for someone not in the room. It is brazen to choose a different spiritual path or career than your community. It is brazen to build your family your way. God or goddess, force energy is brazen. Your declaration or affirmation is, I am bold, brave, shameless, and brazen. Ashay. I love that. She holds a picture of fruit on her head. I see a train coming through. I immediately heard train of thought, but to me, that means control your thoughts. If you're looking for a way out of the hell you might feel like you've been in, the first step is learning to control your thoughts, the train of thoughts. I'm going to leave it there. Last one is the Seven Sisters. Look that up. That's the star system. And we gain energy from stars. Just like Billy Carson said, every planet has a vibration just like you have a vibration. They give off a frequency. You can actually listen to these frequencies on YouTube. This is the card of creativity. You see my fireplace going in the background. It's about to go out. I'm going to put a log on there. I'm going to be going live all night. So I'm going to break down the signs and pull some animal cards. Try to figure out what the January animal spirit cards are for each zodiac. Because it's time to unleash our creativity. That is our superpower, like the previous card said. Card number 12, which breaks down to a universal 3, which is understanding. Understanding your own power. Understanding that unity is your power. Think about the number 3. 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups. That's all about celebration, community, collectiveness, working together. 3 of Wands is all about manifesting, waiting for your ships to come in. Perhaps from something from you working together. Number 12 says, Goddess of Creativity from New Orleans, element of air, the conjurers. Funny, I was speaking of Gemini earlier. Again, the element of air is the magician, Gemini, the alchemist, aka the conjurers. It says the Seven Sisters were a mystical New Orleans family of identical master psychics and conjure women who never aged. But were they? Were the Seven Sisters one shape-shifting woman or 7? Time will never tell. Their guidance is to create, and create some more. You come from conjurers and creators. Your blood remembers. Use your gifts to multiply your magic. You are cosmic creatics and creative force. You are a divine nation within one person. How creative do you allow yourself to be? Break out of your comfort zone and into your creative fertility. You have the power that creates planets. So yes, you are creative. No one else's opinion matters here. Let your inner child play to awaken your creativity, because creating is birthing and it's manifesting. Your affirmation with this is, I am a creative visionary. So much power I felt as I read that. That is truly the gift with this, is understanding how powerful you really, truly are. Not because you are one, it's because you are one of many. One of a collective force that is one, but that power generates from something that's bigger than us. And when we work together, we call it in. Like the Bible says, 2 or more in my name. That's because our energy is collected into the collective conscious. That's why prayer circles and prayer lines work. So we're adding our energy together. And once we stop fighting amongst ourselves, once we stop dividing ourselves as they initially planned. I mean, as we all know, that was the plan. From the Willie Lynch files to classism, from every single thing that they do to divide us. The Nine of Scarabs, Nine of Pentacles, and the Warrior of Ankhs. I felt that. That's why I had to look at that. I feel that we're coming into prosperity. Divine is giving us everything that we need to manifest our dreams, not only for ourselves and our bloodline, but for others. Those that are selfish, that are only thinking of themselves, those are the people that will be coming down. I mean, it's the wheel of fortune. What comes up, what goes up must come down. It's just always that balance of mind. Nine of Pentacles with the Four of Swords. Many of us have been given that time in the last couple of years. That was, I mean, you can look at the pandemic as, stress, Seven of Swords, something you had to defend yourself against. Or you can look at it as healing time. That's how I looked at it. I looked at it as, okay, this is the universe and God giving me the opportunity to step into my Gemini mode as the Gemini North Node was in effect, meaning adapt, change up, chase my inner self, my inner child. I mean, Gemini again is the child of the zodiac. And we're coming up out of Pisces age, going into the Aquarius age, meaning Pisces are the eldest of the zodiac. No longer are we going to be stuck on the old, like, religious ways, all of those old paradigm and masculine-driven, chauvinistic ways are falling away. That's basically it. Masculine energy is not at all bad. It's just that there's been no balance for a long time, and now the balance is coming back. I just heard the Jedi, Return of the Force, Return of the Balance, and then that's basically it. I mean, there's no dark without light, no light without dark. Shadows aren't inherently bad. They are our blockages. They are our weaknesses. They are the things that we hide from ourselves. And once we are aware of them, that allows room for more light to come through. The longer that you are oblivious to your own shadow, the larger it grows. Okay, so we got the Fool card. Wow, let me back on up, because what came up on out first was Anpu. So immediately that makes me think of Nubus. Isn't that the Nubus card? Nubus card followed by the Four Scarab. So, followed by the Sekhmet energy, which I spoke of earlier. Harnessing our Sekhmet energy. And she looks angry right there. That divine empress energy. Number 8, though. She is the strength I spoke of earlier. Calling in our own feminine power. I mean, when you say feminine, you think, again, nurturing, mama, our creative, inspiring, all these wonderful attributes. But don't get it twisted. The lioness is the killer. She's the hunter. She's the one that's feeding the family. She got to get lethal sometimes. And she's not afraid. The lionesses will gang up and take out the male, the lion. I just watched the video recently, which is on my YouTube or my Instagram, talking about, the king of the jungle is not the king, it's the queen. Because again, she is the first teacher of the cubs. both male and female. And she deserves her respect. Let me back up a little bit. As I was saying earlier, the African proverb was, a nation is not conquered until the hearts of its women. The hearts of its women are cast to the ground. Then it's finished. The nation is finished no matter how brave its warriors or how strong their weapons, because the hearts of the women empower or energetically, power the community. The women are the background, the mothers. Pre-colonial Africa was a matriarch system. They knew and recognized and operated from the divine feminine aspect. The women in pre-colonial or before colonization, the women in Africa did not have to fight for their rights. They were seen as the seat of the house, and the male was its occupant. Think about Aset. The symbol of her you see is her with the throne literally on her head. She is seen as the throne, and through her, the masculine must operate. This is the case in all pre-dynastics, all their myths, symbolism. When you look at it, the masculine and feminine were always represented together. By turning inward, you would be able to tap into your own well of spiritual wisdom that we call the divine feminine today. Now, divine feminine, as I said earlier, is not always feminine. It's a function of nature. It's an energy. It's not a woman. Men have the ability to turn within as well and connect to their inner selves, their intuitive expression. That is the divine feminine. Ancient Africans understood that natural world or real world extended beyond the five senses of a human. It also included the metaphysical, the ether, the spirit. That's how, these tarot cards work. It's the energy that we tap into. And they understood that the metaphysical world, that was the world of the soul and the real world. The physical body, the 3D, is an illusion. It's just a transitory experience, We're a human experience. So to Africans or to any mystical ancient civilization, the metaphysical world actually caused or created this 3D or physical world to materialize, or it created it. That's what makes you the co-creator through the law of attraction. You are what you think. You are what you constantly feel. That vibration that you send out is a magnet, boomerang, and comes back to you. So the metaphysical world, your feelings, the non-physical, your energy, your vibration, that causes your physical world to materialize into existence. Now, to understand this, examples that were given was, think of, in terms of a dog whistle. The range of the whistle is beyond our human ability to hear it through our personal human senses, but it's the dog's natural range, that pitch of sound they're able to pick up in. So Africans and our ancient civilizations, they recognized that this range or that dog's pitch was its natural, and we have ranges that we can tap in that is beyond physical nature. Within our spiritual science or the old mystical schools, we understood that the natural world or this 3D world is just an extension of the metaphysical world that we're all connected to from within, through spirit, through the ether. So again, to our ancestors, the body is as spiritual as the soul and the soul as natural as the body. There's no separation like they've done with religion and science today. Some, look at, again, Anubis as, the god of death, usually number 13. That is, what it's about. But He was the ruler of the underworld because I don't know. As I'm looking at this Four of Pentacles or Four of Scarabs, I'm thinking, we hell and heaven are states of mind, states of vibration, as everything is. So the way he's clutching this, I mean, we create our own misery, holding on to death, holding on to things that have already passed, things that we need to let go and release, things that we need to chop off at the head. Segment energy. Stand up for yourself. Be bold. Be brazen. Be naked. Be strong. And then underneath that, what comes next? The Ace of Scarabs. The Ace of Pentacles. So starting over, reborn. That face, that mask. This deck gives a whole new feeling or energy to the Pentacles. The Kemetic Tarot deck makes you recognize that it ain't all about the money. It's about being light. Is your heart light as a feather? That's what our ancestors always said. Know thyself. That was written above all the temples. Ooh, right up underneath this. It's like, the justice card, number 11. Today is 1/1/2022. So 11222. That's significant. 8. It represents, reciprocity, build or destroy. Again, it's time, divine feminine. We got a choice. Again, a 6-year, as I said earlier in tarot, it's the Lovers card. But before it was called the Lovers, it was called the Choice card. We have a choice to make. Build or destroy. In Supreme Mathematics, number 7 is God. 6 falls short of that. 6 is equality. Light and dark unity. The Lovers again. The combination of divine feminine and divine masculine energy in harmony. That is what the aspect of the Lovers is. That's why it's Gemini. It's dual nature. It's the two of us becoming one. In this Fool card, we're walking right past the crocodile. We're starting over again. We are our lightest self. The Fool packs light. Again, there is no, baggage that you're carrying. This is once you start over again, leaving everything behind. Perfect again for New Year's. Starting a new 0, which again was followed by the 11 card, which I'm assuming is justice. There's a lake of fire behind this. I remember the stories in the ancestors of the crocodile who eats, the souls, that the hearts weren't as light as a feather. Justice. You got the Warrior of Swords. So it makes me think of the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords in most tarots comes in quick. He's the fastest knight in the deck. He's coming to speak truth. He got the sword of truth in his hand. Warrior. As we stated earlier. Again, the true warriors are the women, the goddesses. Not because of our physical strength, but because of our emotional strength. Again, this is a feeling universe. And the vibration of the planet is the most important thing. Women outnumber men, outlive men. We birth men. And it's not that women are more important or better than men, because everything again is a dual nature. We can't create without you. And you can't create without us. That is the whole point. It needs to be both of us. Like John Henrique Clark said, we can't have a war between women and men because it's going to have to be both of us or none of us. This is the mind. We are in the matrix of the mind. And the women and the men equal one half of the mind, the right and the left brain. We got to come together in this hemisphere and create change. Yin and yang. Come together and create change. Ashe. I wrote a poem about it, and I'm going to end it on that. Because that's definitely what it's all about. It's about unification, re-education. It's about uplifting the vibration. Women have the power to do so. By tapping into our higher selves, becoming our best selves, will automatically uplift our kings, our children, our communities, and again, the world. Like Beyonce said, who runs the world? Girls. To end it, I got a poem I wrote. It says, if I ruled the world like Nas, I would free every king. I would love him like Lauren sang, 'cause love is everything. I would wipe away his tears. I would kiss away your fears. Raise your heart between your ears so we can travel light years. Light beings, like minds, beyond space and time. A deep connection intertwined, magical when combined. Sweet thoughts on your mind, I know you feel me. Energy, alchemy explodes inside of me. Every cell is a family tree. Mother Earth lives in me. I am your connection. God made the doorway me. Every woman holds the key, removed from their trinity, because once her eye is open, she awakens divinity. The princess and the frog became the goddess and the god, tearing down fake facades. I know how strong we really are. Darkness made me see the light buried in me. If we truly are one, there's no superiority. We come together in peace, yin and yang, to make change. Love paves the way, a new dawn, a new day. If I ruled the world someday. This is our time, Divine Feminine. Rise, be strong, know that you are good enough just the way you are. Be naked, be true in your authenticity. The core messages again. Be naked, be true in your authenticity. Be brazen and bold, because there's nothing you can't do. Be creative. But number one is understand that unity is our strength. It ain't about winning the game solo. It's about uplifting each other for the next generation, coming together in salvation. I love you, divine creation. You are divine feminine, and we rule the nation. I love you. Ashe.